Ever get that feeling like your inbox is about to explode? I mean, work deadlines, social media, all those flash sales.
Yeah, it's like a digital fire hose, isn't it?
Holy. But what if I told you there's a way to take back control without, having to reach inbox zero every day?
It really comes down to changing how you think about email. Instead of trying to wrangle it all with folders and filters, what if you could create different spaces for all the parts of your online life?
Ooh, separate spaces, huh? That's interesting. Tell me more.
Well, think about it this way. You wouldn't use the same key for your front door, your car, and a safe deposit box, right?
True, I guess not.
Right. Each of those things serves a totally different purpose and needs a different level of security.
So you're saying our email addresses should be like specialized keys for like different parts of our digital lives?
You got it. And just like having different keys keeps your stuff safe in the real world, using different email addresses can seriously boost your online security.
Okay, now you got my attention. Let's talk about those benefits. Where do we even start?
Well, let's start with everyone's favorite, spam. It's like those telemarketers that always call during dinner. So annoying. A dedicated burner email address, just for online shopping and subscriptions, can be your shield against all that digital junk.
Oh, I like that. So it's like having a VIP entrance for the important stuff while the spam is stuck in the general admission line.
Exactly. That way your main inbox stays clean with just the messages that really matter, and the burner email takes the hit for all the unwanted stuff. And if you really need some serious privacy, there's an even sneakier option. Disposable email addresses.
Wait, disposable. Like, use them once and they're gone. Tell me more about these mystery addresses.
Think of it like sending a message that self-destructs after it's been read.
Yeah.
No trace left behind. That's basically what disposable emails do. They're great for when you have to sign up for something but don't want to hand over your main email address.
Brilliant. So long. Pesky marketing lists. But besides dodging spam, are there other perks to having multiple emails?
Absolutely. Let's talk about organization, or rather, the lack of it that most people have in their inboxes. You wouldn't keep your gardening tools in your bedroom closet.
Right.
Well, you don't want to mix your work emails and personal stuff either.
Okay, I see what you're getting at. So instead of shoving everything into one giant digital drawer, we're talking about creating separate compartments for different parts of our lives.
That's the idea. Think about it. Work emails, personal messages, online shopping, sensitive stuff like banking, each of those gets its own dedicated space. It's like having color-coded folders for your digital world.
Ah, that makes so much sense. Especially for visual people like me who need those clear boundaries to stay organized.
Exactly. It not only tidies things up, but also makes you way more efficient. No more digging through a mountain of emails to find that one important message.
Love it. All right, so we've covered spam and organization, but what about the big one? Security. You hear about data breaches and hacked accounts all the time. Can multiple emails really make a difference there?
It's not just about making a difference. It's about damage control. Each email address is like a separate chamber in a castle. If one gets breached, the others are still safe.
So it's a way to contain the damage, prevent a total digital meltdown if one account gets compromised.
Exactly. This is especially important for things like online banking or cloud storage. Using a separate email address for those adds a vital layer of protection.
Okay, I see the bigger picture now. It's not just about convenience. It's about building a more secure online foundation.
And speaking of foundations, let's talk about how multiple emails can impact your professional image. Using your personal email for work is like showing up to a business meeting in your PJs.
Ouch. Yeah, I get the analogy. So you're saying separate professional email address shows that you're serious about your business.
It's all about credibility and looking professional. It's like having a tailored suit for your online self. It makes a statement before you even say a word.
And I bet it stops you from accidentally sending like a super casual email to a client.
Exactly. Having that separation between work and personal emails keeps things tidy and minimizes those awkward mix-ups.
So we've covered dodging spam, getting organized, boosting security, and even looking professional. Sounds like multiple email addresses are the ultimate multi-tool for our digital lives.
And the best part is, anyone can do it. You don't need to be a tech genius to set up a few different email accounts and get all these benefits.
You know, that's what I love about these conversations. It's all about finding simple but effective solutions for everyday problems.
Totally. It's about giving you the tools to take control of your digital life and make it more personalized and secure. Who knows, you might even discover some hidden benefits along the way.
I'm always up for a good surprise.
So we were talking about the benefits of having multiple email addresses. It's kind of like designing your dream home. Would you want all your activities, like cooking, sleeping, working, entertaining, all crammed into one room?
No way. That sounds like a total recipe for disaster.
Hmm.
Not to mention, where's the personal space?
Exactly. That's where multiple email addresses come in. They give you the power to create this, like, more organized and secure digital space that's tailored to your needs.
I'm really liking this house analogy. You could have a work zone, a little relaxation corner for personal emails, and then like a super secure vault for all that sensitive financial stuff.
You got it. But I bet you're thinking, managing all those different email addresses, that sounds like a logistical nightmare.
You read my mind. Is it really that easy to keep all those accounts straight?
Oh, it's much simpler than you might think. Most email providers give you free accounts, and you can check them all on your phone or computer with email apps, or just using a web browser. You can even set up notifications so you know when something important lands in a specific inbox.
So it's not like I need to carry a bunch of different phones or constantly log in and out of different accounts?
Not at all. Technology has made it so easy to handle multiple addresses without any headaches. But while we're on the topic of security, let's talk about the elephant in the room: passwords.
Ugh, yes, the never-ending struggle of remembering a million different passwords. Any advice for keeping all those digital fortresses locked down tight?
A strong, unique password for each account is an absolute must-have. Think of it like having multiple locks on your doors. And for even more security, turn on two-factor authentication. It's like that extra layer of protection.
Okay. Two-factor authentication. That sounds a bit intense. Can you break it down for those of us who aren't exactly tech wizards?
Sure, it's like having a security guard check your ID before they let you in. Even if someone gets their hands on your password, they still can't get into your account without that second step, which is usually a code sent to your phone or another device.
Got it. Makes sense. Like adding another lock to those digital vaults. But what about those sneaky phishing scams? They seem to get trickier every day. How can multiple email addresses help us outsmart those scammers?
That's where having a dedicated email address for sensitive stuff really comes in handy. Let's say you get a shady email in the inbox you use only for your bank. You'll immediately know it's a scam because you never use that address for anything else.
Oh, that's smart. It's like a built-in spam filter for your most important info. That's a game changer. But what about people who've been using their personal email for everything? Is it too late to make the switch?
It's never too late to tidy up your digital life. Think of it as a spring cleaning project for your online world. You can switch to multiple addresses gradually, starting with the most important ones like banking.
So it's more like a gradual makeover, not a total demolition and rebuild. Phew, that sounds much more manageable. But honestly, one of the biggest challenges I can see is just remembering to use the right email address for the right thing. Any tips for making those new habits stick?
It's all about making connections in your mind. For instance, maybe you put a bright sticky note on your computer that reminds you to use your burner email for online registrations.
Like training your brain to automatically grab the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
And I bet once people start seeing the benefits, less spam, better organization, more security, those new habits will become second nature.
For sure. It's all about experiencing those positive changes firsthand. Just like anything else, the more you practice, the easier it gets.
Okay, so we've talked about making the switch and building those new habits, but how many email addresses is too many? Is there a point where you've gone overboard?
You know, it's less about a magic number and more about what works for you. Some people might only need 3 or 4 addresses, while others might want separate ones for projects, hobbies, even different online identities.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. It's about creating an email system that, like, fits your own digital life, right?
Exactly. Think back to that dream home analogy. You wouldn't want to live in a tiny one-room shack if you need multiple bedrooms, a home office, a big kitchen.
Not a chance. So how do we go about designing this, like, ideal email setup? Where do we even begin?
Well, start by thinking about the different parts of your online life that would benefit from some separation. Maybe you need a separate address for professional networking, or for managing your finances, or for participating in online communities.
It's like drawing a blueprint for our digital interactions, figuring out which areas need their own space.
Precisely. Once you've got a good idea of what you need, you can start creating addresses that match those purposes. And remember, you can always tweak things as you go along if your needs change.
This is making me think about work-life balance, too. Separate email addresses could be a really good way to create boundaries between our work and personal lives.
You're absolutely right. One of the biggest benefits of this whole system is that you can compartmentalize your attention and energy. When you're checking your work email, you're focused on work. And when you're in your personal inbox, you can actually disconnect from the demands of your job.
It's like having a mental switch that lets you be fully present in each moment, whether you're in work mode or chill mode. But what about when you're working with other people? Can having multiple email addresses make collaboration more complicated?
Not at all. Actually, it can make things smoother. You can create a shared email address just for a specific project or team. That way, everyone has access to the same communication and files.
So it's like a central hub for all the project stuff, accessible to everyone involved, streamlines communication, and keeps everyone on the same page. Now, I got to ask, with all these new messaging apps and social media platforms, is email even relevant anymore?
Yeah, it's a good question, especially with all the new ways we communicate online these days. But even though there are new platforms popping up all the time, email is still a core part of how we do things online.
So it's like the foundation of our online communication, even with all these new layers being added on top.
Exactly. It's a universal standard that works across all platforms and apps. It'll probably be around for a long time to come. Having a well-organized email system is like having a solid base for managing all those interactions.
Well said. We've covered a lot of ground today. Taming spam, getting organized, boosting security, even looking more professional. It's clear that having multiple email addresses isn't just a digital convenience. It's a way to build a more secure and fulfilling online experience.
It's about being in the driver's seat of your digital life and designing a space that truly reflects what you need and care about. And the best part is, it's a journey of discovery. You can experiment, adapt, find what works best for you, and discover new benefits as you go.
Love that. Well, thanks for joining us today as we explore the ins and outs of multiple email addresses. We hope you learned something new and are excited to create a more personalized and fulfilling online life.
It's been a pleasure sharing these ideas with you.